Hop, there's more beyond the forest. I know you want adventure. Find me.
Don't you just hate it when you're enjoying a whimsical jaunt through the forest with your little sister, who is a frog, you're both frogs, taking in the breathtaking sights and scenery while partaking in the typical hop, skip, and jumping of your average 3D platformer, when suddenly you're accidentally separated from your sister. Then you're communing with the local spirit of the forest, and now you're lost within some strange gravity-defying realm with no idea on how to get home. That's not a typical occurrence for you? Oh, well, it could be. As I was saying before that sick compilation played out, which was good, right? Right? Please, I really need this. In Big Hops, you play as this young frog boy named Hop, who, true to his name, is very good at jumping. I mean hopping. Fuck! He's a spunky, amphibious lad with a thirst for adventure, though he might find this thirst quenched sooner than he expected, with his glass overflowing as he's tricked by the forest spirit into kindling the shrine, and getting sucked up into this peculiar place known as the Void. The culprit for all this being Dis. I can only assume that Dis here is some sort of void demon, judging by the horns, or what are supposed to be horns because I can't see it as anything other than an absolutely diabolical widow's peak. Chopped hairlines aside, Dis demands that we find something called dark drips, and doing so is currently our only way home. Or not, as upon getting warped to this desert, we immediately encounter this whack-job raccoon inventor, who claims to be able to create an airship capable of traversing dimensions, and only if we can bring him the 3 airship parts he requires. That roughly sums up the 2 main objectives of the entire game, and you'll be searching through a variety of different worlds to complete them, from a dry, dusty desert filled with large canyons to a vast blue ocean dotted with islands, oil rigs, and other settlements, and a huge, desolate mountain that's been shattered by some immense power within. Now, when it comes to the act of actually traversing these worlds, this hippity-hoppity little frog boy has the perfect assortment of moves to get it done. He can hop. He can hop higher. He can roll, dive, slide, and grind. And how about using that strong tongue to swing, pull, and pick locks? Wait, what? He can also climb, but only with a special bracelet made by his mom and sister. He can swim, but only with a magical ring of swimming. This boy ain't a frog, he's a fraud. Surprisingly, the movement of this pitiful excuse of a frog isn't the only thing this 3D platformer has to offer. While unique gameplay mechanics don't just grow on trees, this one certainly does. Spread across these worlds are peculiar veggies with peculiar powers, mushrooms that provide a bouncy boost, acorns that sprout into a climbable vine, a red-hot chili pepper that can be used to start fires, and even an eggplant that I can't fucking find for this stupid achievement. If you've been paying attention, you might be thinking to yourself, wait, those aren't all veggies? First of all, nerd. Second of all, yes, you're right. Here's crude oil growing on a tree. I mean, where did you think it came from? The ground? That's ridiculous. Slightly less ridiculous is the fact our frog boy here will have to take full advantage of these potentially magical locally grown veggies to get around while seeking out the aforementioned dark drips and airship parts. The former being found just about anywhere you look. You can find dark drips way up high, earn them by getting the fastest time in races, receive them as a gift after reuniting a family with their son who ran away to go live inside trash bins, by making said family realize they could all just live together inside one large, family-sized trash bin. How very touching. Along with many other residents of these worlds to help or harm in order to obtain dark drips. However, the most common way you'll be finding them is through completing challenges, found through these hatches spread across the world and often based around whatever movement mechanic or veggie is nearby. They can even be revisited later to go for the best time. But dark drips aren't just found, they're made. by collecting the much smaller dark bits, also found spread throughout the world and within the challenge rooms. Find enough and you'll be able to form them into a dark drip. And that's not all. Doing so also lets you roll the dice on the trinket trunk thingy, providing 2 random trinkets to pick from, which often offer very powerful buffs, like extra backpack space for carrying around your multiple gallons of crude oil that you're smuggling off the rig, or maybe something like increased stamina and less friction while sliding. A large majority of trinkets specifically cater towards making you filthy rich.
Oh my piece!
Earning coins from just about every action you do, including nothing. What are these shiny gold coins for? Well, you could use them to stock up on assorted veggies to aid in your search for the dark drips, but what we're really after is a whole different kind of drip. In these worlds, it's drip or drown, and this frog can't swim. But that's enough sick threads. It's time for a different kind of thread, of the narrative variety. I thought that one was really clever. I hope you did too. The story of Big Hops is one that I would consider quite entertaining, and progressing through it is also how you'll progress your search for airship parts. I won't go into too much detail about it, as I'd strongly recommend simply trying the game out for yourself, but I will describe it as quite fun. Simply following Hop around on his journey to return to his world and his family. One minute you'll be trying to expose a nefarious family scheme, photographing damning evidence, crawling through vents, and picking locks with your tongue. The next minute, you're delving deep into the depths of an abandoned mine, accompanied by the lead singer of a punk rock band who's searching for a hidden treasure to fund her band's first tour, while a cult-like community that may or may not be led by the lead singer's older sister proceeds to bring the ceiling down on top of you. There's a rather common theme of family within this story, a story that's very fitting for a 3D platformer of this style, with character personalities to match. Traversing through the worlds and interacting with the colorful cast of characters is almost as good as the traversal itself, like this individual who has a pot on his head. Or the quirky tumbleweed sculpture lady. You've got this band of chivalrous pirates who have a sick hideout where nothing illegal is happening, and the brooding bat bass player. There's also this bunny who is very skilled with the ropes, who can untie you after you've been tied up, for some reason, and can also tie you back up for a small fee. No questions asked. She's been in the business long enough to mind her own. Why would you want this? Well, obviously, so you can recreate the bug that makes it so anything you try to pick up while tied up instead just grows in size. How do I know this? Well, let's just say I'm really good at finding bugs. And on that topic, let's talk insects, of which there are many to find throughout these worlds. Consuming them provides extra stamina, but more important is identifying them and sharing your discoveries with this eccentric, bug-loving raccoon. Find enough of them and she might even have a couple rewards for you. But how might one reach and obtain this beetle, who is oh so very far away? Well, one could put together a complex series of blowberries to blow themselves across, maybe construct the mechanism. The mechanism sucks. Consider chaining together multiple green goo balls to traverse the gap. Construct the mechanism, but better. Create the tightrope to heaven. Hey, Hop, you passed the bug. Hop, where are you going? Wait, no, Hop, don't go into the light. Or, just use the railgun. The gun that shoots rails. Jokes aside, I think this really highlights how much potential this game really has, especially for something like speedrunning. I mean, I would know. Look at this cool achievement for beating the game quickly that I definitely didn't get due to a known bug, or anything like that. Seriously though, you can tell this game was built for speedrunning because going too fast causes you to clip through solid ground. But I think I'll stop there. Wouldn't want to spoil more than I already have. Is that fucking Sans Undertale? Hey there, thanks for watching this video to the end. Once again, if you're at all interested in anything you've seen here and are an avid enjoyer of 3D platformers, I'd strongly recommend checking out Big Hops. I'd like to thank the developers for making this fantastic frog game, and as always, a massive thank you to my generous supporters over on Patreon, with an extra special thanks to Rody, Mirloon, Yuval, Michael Bradley, EP Sprite, Blue Stop Sign, Lavok T. Skellyman, Slimy, and Coella. They get early access to these videos, video updates, clips, posts, polls, and their name here at the end. If that interests you, or you'd simply just like to support the channel, then do consider it, though it's far from mandatory. If nothing else, like and subscribe. Until next time.